Realme introduced the Realme 6 and 6 Pro 6 months ago, and today the company announced their successor dubbed as Realme 7 and 7 Pro respectively. This comes with improved cameras, bigger batteries and fast charging. The pair panel also fluent a new design which Realme says is inspired by mirror space in nature. So in this video we will be discussing both the devices and their specification, what Realme has bring in these devices. So let's talk about the Realme 7 Pro first. It is powered by Snapdragon 720G SoC found on Realme 6 Pro, but it brings in some solid upgrades over its predecessor in some other departments. The biggest one is the 65 watt of super dot charging, which is currently only available on some of the company's most premium X series models. Realme claims it can fill the 7 Pro 4500 mAh of battery from flat to 100% in just 34 minutes. Unlike the 6 Pro that packs a 6.6 inch of LCD, the 7 Pro comes with a Super AMOLED panel. It's a tad small at 6.4 inch, but that should be making the 7 Pro more compact and easier to hold. The resolution of the screen is Full HD+, but the refresh rate has been dropped from 90Hz to 60Hz. Realme tells us this decision was taken considering the feedback of its customer who preferred 60Hz AMOLED screen over a 90Hz LCD panel. As an added bonus, we get always-on display and in-display fingerprint scanner on 7 Pro as opposed to the side-mounted one that came with this predecessor. The Realme 6 Pro came with a total of 6 cameras, 2 on the front and 4 at the back. The Realme 7 Pro has one less as the company dropped the 8 megapixel ultra-wide angle front-facing unit but replaced the main 16 megapixel selfie camera on the 6 Pro with 32 megapixel on the 7 Pro. There are some changes to the quad camera setup on the back as well. Realme has dropped the 12 megapixel telephoto unit in favor of 2 megapixel depth sensor, and while it did retain an 8 megapixel ultra wide and 2 megapixel macro units, the primary camera now uses a Sony newer 64 megapixel IMX682 sensor. The Realme 7 Pro, like the 6 Pro, comes with Dolby atmosphere, but this time it comes with a stereo speaker. That's yet another feature that tackled down from Realme more premium smartphone to the number series. Other highlights of the Realme 7 Pro includes a USB-C port, a 3.5mm headphone jack, dedicated micro SD card slot, Navic and dual frequency GPS support. The smartphone splash-proof and passed smartphone reliability verification test. Software-wise, the Realme 7 Pro boasts an Android 10 which is based on Realme custom UI. Comes in a mirror blue and mirror silver colors and has 2 memory configuration, 6 gigs 128GB and 8 gigs 128GB of internal storage. Price start at $270 with more expensive variant comes with a $300 of a price tag. The first sale is taking place on India on September 14 on Realme on website and Flipkart. Moving on towards the vanilla variant of Realme 7, it is coming with a 6.5 inch of Full HD plus 90Hz LCD as its predecessor, and is the world's first smartphone to have the freshly announced Helio G95 SoC at the helm, which is an upgrade over the Realme 6 G93 processor. The battery capacity has increased from 4300 mAh to a 5000 mAh, but it still charges at 30 watt. Realme claims the 30 watt dot charging can fill the cell from flat to 100% in 65 minutes, which is still pretty good. Like the 7 Pro, the Vanilla 7 also sports a 64 megapixel Sony IMX682 sensor, but the rest of the setup remains the same as the 6 Pro. There is a 16 megapixel selfie shooter on the front, and the primary camera on the back is joined by an 8 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixel macro shooter and a 2 megapixel depth sensor module. But like the Pro model, the Realme 7 also get a stereo mode and can switch between AI mode and Pro mode in 64 megapixel mode and night mode. The rest of the highlight of 7 includes a USB-C port, 3.5mm headphone jack, Android 10 based Realme UI, side-mounted fingerprint scanner and dedicated micro SD card slot, up to 128GB and 2 RAM options 6 and 8GB. The smartphone is also splash-proof, but like the Pro, it lacks an official IP rating. The 6GB 64GB variant of Realme 7 is priced around $205, and there will be an 8GB and 128GB model priced around $230. Both are offered in mist white and mist blue colors and will go sale from September 10 to Realme official Indian sites. So guys, these are 2 devices where Realme has introduced. What are your opinion about these 2 devices? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and also please do consider subscribing my channel if you are new here. Thanks for watching this video. Peace out.